So over the past few weeks, I've got a lot of questions. And people want to know, what are your plans? Are you still investing into the stock market? Are you still investing into real estate? Are you planning on selling everything, or what are you planning to do? Well, I want to answer that in today's video because there is still a lot of risks to a recession. We are seeing that there's a lot of risks going on right now that we're in the middle of. As a result, I plan on selling everything that doesn't hold any long-term value. That's my plan, and I'll explain more on that in just a moment. But first, why do many people believe that we will face a recession? Well, according to Goldman Sachs, they say the chances of the US being in a recession within the next 2 years is actually 35%. According to Bloomberg economists, they predict that we will face a 27.5% chance of dipping into recession. Fannie Mae's senior vice president and chief economist says that the US will enter into a recession. And he actually goes on to say, and I quote, "As such, we've updated our 2023 forecast to include a modest recession, but one that we do not expect to be similar in magnitude or duration of the recession of 2008. So there's multiple groups that are already saying we are going to dip into a recession. But the most common consensus is it's not going to last very long. It's not going to last 3 to 4 years. It's going to be fairly short. Some expect it's going to be less than a year. That's good news. Now, we know that supply disruptions are going to continue. There's nothing that's going to change that. And the longer that China continues its lockdown due to COVID, this isn't going to go away anytime soon. The recession, according to multiple experts, they're saying it will be dictated on how well the world, not just the US, gets over COVID. Now, all of us here in the United States, we're thinking, well, vaccinations are up, right? COVID's slowly going away. People are getting back to normal. Everything should be good. We shouldn't be dipping into a recession. But experts say it's not what the US does. It's what the world does and how the world gets over COVID. Because we are relying on China. Whether we want to agree to that and say it out loud or not, we are relying on China. And that's a huge problem. We also know that inflation is really impacting the entire world. Again, not just the US. Yeah, the US is seeing an 8.9% inflation rate right now, but the expectation is that it will continue to run up for another 2 months. Another 2 months. So we could easily be at 10% inflation, but many economists are saying that 8.9 is not true inflation. That's the number, but true inflation is probably closer to 18 to 19%. Again, that's horrible because that is not something the American people can afford. And we also know that the war between Russia and Ukraine is going to cause a lot more concerns. And we obviously don't know when this is going to end either. But this is why I feel that now is a good time to start selling things that I don't want, that will not benefit my family's lives in any way, shape, or form. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to sell stuff that I don't need, that are it's just another item, just another headache, because I don't want that. I want to have the simplest life. And here's what I want to tell you. Okay, first, before I get into saying what I am going to sell, let me first address what I am not selling and kind of address why. So the things I'm not going to sell. First off, I'm not going to sell my personal home. This was never intended to be used as an investment. This is just for living purposes only. Okay, this was never intended to be an investment. Okay, so I'm not going to sell it. I will not be selling other real estate either, as my goal has always been cash flow, not pure appreciation. So with cash flow, it doesn't, even if the market pulls back, I'm still going to be cash flowing. It's fine. I can get through this. Okay, these were going to be long-term holds. It's no big deal. Okay, so I will not be selling any additional real estate. I will be buying more though. Okay, I will be buying more, but I'm waiting for the right time. I'm waiting for the right deals. Okay, I will not be selling any of my dividend stocks. Again, this produces monthly cash flow. That was the purpose behind buying dividend stocks, is I want monthly cash flow. I've held on to a lot of these for quite some time. Okay, I've been able to ride these out and they've gone up in value quite a bit, right? The appreciation here is pretty substantial. I don't plan on selling them. And plus I'm getting the cash flow from the dividends every single month. So that's great there. I will not be selling any of my long-term holding stocks. Some of these, the main one is pretty much Tesla. Okay, that's pretty much my main one. I did sell quite a bit of Apple. Apple is one of those companies that I didn't want to sell, but I end up selling some today. Okay, so I don't plan on selling much as far as my long-term holds for stocks. I also don't plan on selling luxury goods. And you're probably thinking, well, what are luxury goods, right? There's a lot of things out there that, to me, I wouldn't consider them luxury goods, but people would say that they're a luxury to have. Now, I have a feeling that luxury watches, right, jewelry, and even some handbags, they're going to be hard to come by in the next year or two, potentially even further than that. Especially when you get talk about Rolexes or certain watches like that. I don't plan on selling. Okay, and the reason I say this is because I think they're going to be hard to come by, just because of the supply chain issues that we're currently facing and will continue to face. Precious metals are going to be hard to come by. Okay, so I don't want to sell any luxury goods at this time. That's something that I will reconsider, in maybe 6 months or a year. But at this time, I don't plan on selling anything. Lastly, this is a big one because I've sold this. I've sold some of these in the past 2 years. I will not be selling any more of my businesses. Now, I brought this up before where I've sold Amazon FBA businesses. I've sold some of my eBay businesses. I've sold different online courses, affiliate sites. I've sold a lot of stuff. Okay, so a lot of different online businesses. And I don't plan on selling any more moving forward. And I say this because now all of these online businesses are producing, and they all fit in with my current lifestyle. Before, I had my online businesses based around my lifestyle. Well, my lifestyle changed obviously due to COVID. Over the past 2 years, had another child. He's going to be 3 this summer. And so obviously that has impacted the way I ran my businesses and the way my life was. So I changed it all. And I really did this throughout COVID. And so now all the businesses I do have, I'll be holding on to them, but I will be also adding more to them. That's one of the things I really like doing is buying businesses, right? Try and get more traffic to these online businesses, make a little bit more money, and then later on, either I hold them for cash flow or I end up selling them. I really like doing that. I want to do more of it. So for what I will be selling, here's the list. This is not a huge list because I don't want to bore you with the stuff that I plan on selling. The first thing that I plan on selling is any extra vehicles. Okay, I believe cars and trucks are going to be hard to, over the next couple of years, they're going to be hit pretty hard. And I don't want to be sitting on an item or what many people call an asset. I call a vehicle a liability because to me that's what it is. But I don't want to sit on something any longer than I have to. Okay, and I don't want more vehicles than I can currently drive. It just makes no sense to me. So that is one of the things I will be selling. RVs. I currently have 2 recreational vehicles. I do not need 2. My family only needs 1. So I will be selling 1. I will be keeping the other. Recreational vehicles have already seen a slight decline. And again, I don't want to hold on to something that I know is going to continue to depreciate. That just doesn't make financial sense. So I will be selling 1. And as far as picking up anything else, I don't plan on doing that either. Okay? I want a very simple lifestyle. Next thing I will be doing, and if you've been watching my channel for very long here on YouTube, you know I don't wear expensive clothing. Absolutely don't like to. Right? I have a Nike shirt on. I wear workout gear. I wear workout gear all the time. It doesn't matter. I could be doing an interview. I could be doing a Zoom meeting with a sponsor. And I guarantee you, I will not be wearing a polo shirt. I won't be wearing a suit and tie. Guarantee that. I do have a polo shirt. I wear it every once in a while. But usually it's usually when I'm coming off more of a business meeting. All right? So most of the time, I'm wearing simple clothing, workout gear, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas. That's what I wear. Okay? As a result, I will be selling a lot of my new clothing that I've never worn. I'll be selling that through one of my eBay businesses. Okay? So if you want new clothing, well, you can go to eBay. I will be donating all my excess used clothing that's in good condition to a veterans donation center nearby. Okay, that's my plan. As far as electronics, told you I have 3 kids. I have 3 Nintendo Switches. I have 3 or 4 Xboxes. I have 3 PlayStations, and each kid has their own iPhone. We do not need 3 of each item. I will be selling these, okay? I will not be selling every single kid's all their electronics, but I'll be selling a decent amount because really we only need 1 Xbox, 1 PlayStation. Each kid's gonna keep their iPhone, and we may have 2 Nintendo Switches. Everything else I will be selling. And honestly, I could go on and on about what else I'm selling, but just know that when I say I'm selling everything, I honestly plan on selling everything because my goal is to get back to a more minimalist lifestyle for myself and my family. Because when we don't have stuff that we are worried about, we don't have to worry about, oh, we need to go and clean out that car because, well, I want to drive that next weekend. No, get rid of it. We need to worry about pumping up the tires in the RV because, well, we're going to go on a road trip. No, get rid of that. We're not taking that one, right? I want to get rid of this stuff. I want a very simple life, okay? And I want to do this, and then I want to take the money that I made through all the sales, and I want to put it into another online business. I don't know exactly what online business yet. I'm still looking and contemplating on a few. There's a few that I have my eyes on. And once I do that, I'll obviously bring you along and tell you what I plan on doing. But one thing I can tell you is that planning for the future and planning ahead takes time. It takes patience, and it works best if you have some extra money you can invest at the right time. Now, I have extra money, but I don't plan on taking my extra money that I made elsewhere and put it into a new business. I want to sell everything that I have, or a very good portion of it, and put that into the business. Okay? That's my plan. And you're probably wondering, why would I even sell everything? Here's the reason why. I believe that the US will eventually dip into a recession. It runs through cycles. We always do. Now, whether that recession comes in the next couple of years, comes in the next 5 years, I don't know. But I do believe we will dip back into another recession. Now, I don't think it's going to take years to get out of either. I know my investment strategy back in 2008, it worked. It helped me get to where I am today. And so my thinking is that if I can take my money and I can make it work for me once again, I will do that. And if right now, okay, if I can take my money and I can double or triple it in the next 5 to 10 years, why wouldn't I do that? Right? It just doesn't make sense. Why would I sit on items that I don't use, don't need, don't want, that are just taking up space and could potentially be flipped into almost double or triple that amount of money? That doesn't make sense to me. And so that is one of the reasons why I plan on selling almost everything. Because again, the risks of a recession are upon us. It's gonna happen. It's just when. And how big is this recession going to be? How long will it last? Nobody knows. But I'm placing a bet. Okay, this is my bet. You do not have to do everything that I'm doing, and I highly recommend you don't. Don't just go and sell everything off a whim. Okay, do your own research, consider your own circumstances and situation, and then do what's best for you and your family. But again, I plan on selling a lot of stuff because I feel that a risk of a recession is upon us. It's coming. It's just a matter of when and how big will this be. So that's all I want to say today. Again, just trying to fill you in on what I'm doing moving forward, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So again, if you have any questions whatsoever, you can always ask your questions down in the comment section below. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.